G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. It is late August here in Melbourne, Australia. That means we're coming out of winter and into spring. This year we've actually had a very early start, I think, to spring. I think a lot of people will agree with me in Melbourne. It's been unusually warmer than normal, and yeah, things are just starting to move way too early, at least 3 to 4 weeks earlier than last year, I think. Maples already budding, popping, yeah, you name it. Now, it's also, as you've been following my channel, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I like to propagate Shimpaku Junipers via air layer. Now, air layering is best done on Shimpaku Junipers anywhere from late winter to early spring, or well into spring as well, but the earliest you probably can start is late winter, which is now. So I have this awesome little Shimpaku Juniper. However, you can probably see this branch here. It's very straight. This is all nice compact growth, tight. This foliage is really nice and compact. Could be Itogawa, but I think it's just Kishu, but it's very nice and compact, which is really good. So I'm going to, there's a point here where there's 2 trunks. I'm going to put an LA here because I want to have maybe a twin trunk in the future, or I could just grow this tree on into a stock plant. And what that means is a stock plant is I grow it on and then airlay that over the years as well. So that's another option. When you get good material or good quality kind of aspects of the tree, like this has got really compact foliage, it's nice. So I want to propagate that material more than foliage that is coarse and kind of sparse. This is nice tight foliage. I want to keep it. So I'm going to put an LA here. To do that. So I'm sure you've seen this many times on my channel. If you follow me for a while, all I use is a very sharp grafting knife. Be very careful. Piece of plastic, some wire, and I've got here sphagnum moss soaking in water at the moment. Very simple process. So I'm going to go through it step by step. I'm going to ring bark this part right here. So I'm going to make a cut around the cambium layer right at this point, because that's where I want the roots to grow from. Now, I don't use rooting hormone. I haven't needed to in the last, I don't know how long. I've been doing this for years now and have had pretty much 100% success rate on every layer that I put on. So this only takes 3 months to develop roots, and even less probably. I always leave it for 3 months because I want to be safe. So I made the cut around the top here. That's where the roots will grow. And then I'll probably do double the thickness of the trunk. So the trunk's about that thick. I'm going to go 1, 2, probably around here. So what that means is you're not going to grow it's not going to kind of close this gap, and I'll show you how it all looks in a minute. You ring bark it all the way around. Ring bark it. Now kind of do a slice downwards. Hopefully it just peels in one go, but we'll see, because it's not spring, so the sap's not flowing full on at the moment, like in terms of really flowing like in spring. It'll be harder to peel off this bark, which it proving is, but we'll get there. So I'm going to peel it off. The outside layer is coming off, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Just got to watch my fingers, of course. That's probably the number one thing. The other thing is you can use some pliers, gym pliers, and squish this, and it should just come off as well. I was hoping just to do it with a knife, but this works just as good, probably better at the moment. And you can probably see it's quite rough. Now I need to actually make sure there's none of the cambium left, so I'm going to scrape it with my knife. So now that I've done that, pretty easy process of, well, this is kind of the messy part of the process. You get your plastic, and you pretty much have to create a couch. Now this also is a good time to, if you're going to apply any rooting hormone, you could apply it to the top of the cup. As I said, I don't bother anymore, it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it at all, so I have 100% without it. With it, without it, doesn't matter. There's no difference. Not even the speed of creating roots, still all the same. The whole what it relies on and how fast the roots grow is the health of this part here. If you get a healthy period of growth here, that's what determines the speed of which roots will grow and how well they will grow. So that's really it, pretty much. There's not much else to say. A healthy bit of stock here is all you need to make really good quick roots in the tree. So I'm just going to put a bit of wire on the bottom bit. Now I've got a little pouch working with me here. I've got my spade. I squeeze as much water. I don't want too much water in there, so I squeeze the water. You could use other products. There's balls, there's black balls that you can put around pieces of trunk. It would work good with this because it's straight, but most usually I've got very twisted Shimpaku, so the ball doesn't work. You need to go with plastic. But in this case, if it's a straight piece of material, the balls work really well. Those little black balls that you got. So that's how you put the sphagnum moss in. This is what the packet looks like for sphagnum moss. Get it at Bunnings here in Melbourne or in Australia. Very easy, just a packet of that. It's very dry. You just put in water, it expands a bit more than it is. So that's what it is. So once you're happy with the sphagnum, and it's a matter of tying the top. Now, one other step that I do is I wrap this whole thing up in black plastic, which I had here a minute ago, but I think the wind might have blown it away. As I mentioned, if you get some black plastic, however you want to do it, I just tend to wrap it around the ball. Now, all this does is attracts heat, or lets the sun hit it and keep it warm. So what happens when you want to do cuttings and what do you need underneath the cuttings to make them grow faster? You need heat underneath, most likely. Okay, that makes cutting grow faster if you've got heat underneath the cuttings. In this way, I am trying to simulate heat from the sun absorbing black into black more. So that's why black, if you're wearing a black t-shirt or a white t-shirt and you stand in the sun, the black t-shirt gets very hot because the black absorbs the sun more, whilst the white reflects the sun. So I want the black to absorb the heat and warm up that area so roots can grow. Okay. The other thing is you probably want to check on this maybe in a month or 2 months time. Make sure the sphagnum is not dried out. It tends not to. If we get moist conditions, rain, a bit of frost, and so on, there's no real need to water them. I pretty much never have to water them. Only on the odd occasion I might have to in the whole 4 months. Now I'll leave this alone for, as I said, 3 or 4 months, and I'll be able to cut it off, and there'll be plenty of roots in there. We'll have a look in a later video, which I'll show you the result of. So you can really do any Shimpaku junipers at the moment. I find conifers work really well now in late winter, early spring, to actually do air layering, and I pretty much have 100% success. And that is pretty much then let grow. Once I cut this off, I'll let it grow for maybe 6 months. Then I can decide what I want to do with it. So it could be just a stock plant, could be start to wire it up and do something with it. Probably at this point it might be a stock plant because it's good material to work with, and I'll just grow it on and so on. So anyway, guys, that's how you air layer Shimpaku junipers. Deciduous trees, I'll wait until they're in leaf and hardened off, probably more around October, November. To do any air layering on deciduous trees, if that helps you guys, if you're going to ask that question. So yeah, and this is 3 to 4 months, and that will remove it and have another tree. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you around for more.